Hello, my name is Dick Sturgeon. I'm the host for today's program of Focus on the Community. This is a program that is sponsored by Morningside College and also is produced by Siouxland Community Media. It's quite a treat today because we have with us a representative of an organization that I believe has done so much good in Siouxland, and that is the Council on Sexual Assault and Domestic Violence. And today, for today's program, we welcome Becky Carlson.
Thank you.
And Becky serves as the Associate Director. I understand that April is a big month for your organization.
Correct. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And so to be able to do some preventative work, we have different events throughout the community this month.
All right. And I see around town some teal ribbons, and can you tell me what that is?
The teal ribbons represent our agency, and actually nationally, the teal represents Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and basically that is to show support for sexual assault or sexual violence prevention. And
where would a person get one of those?
You can call our agency, and that's 712-258-7233, and we can make sure that you get a ribbon.
All right, and we'll give that telephone number later on too if somebody wants to get a pencil to write it down. What other programs do you have? I understand you have a fashion show that's going to take place?
Correct. On April 28th, we're having a fashion show that will actually our group of volunteers, the Say Mujer group, that is a Spanish volunteer or Hispanic volunteer group that is sponsoring the fashion show. And that is also kind of a two-folded aspect. It's to provide awareness about sexual assault and prevention type things, and then also to provide as a fundraiser. So tickets are $10, and they can be, again, if you call our agency, we can get those tickets to you. And also, our dresses are then going to be sold at a Goodwill donation after the show. So it'll be kind of exciting.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
You have a program that's being carried on at the three colleges here in Sioux City, which I think is real important. Would you like to explain that?
At each of the colleges this month, we are spending a day during the lunch hour,
yes,
to be able to provide water. And on the water bottles, we have labels that provide information about some sexual assault prevention types of things, specifically for teens, or not teens because college students, but for the college student crowd.
And that's real important. We'll talk about that later too, but that's a real important group of people to get the message out to, and not only the females, but also the males on what's expected of them and what the boundaries are.
Exactly.
Well, great.
Yeah.
I think programs like that can head off a lot of problems that we will see in life later on. Then.
Exactly.
You also have a spring flower function. Can you explain that?
Correct. We're starting a new fundraiser this year, spring flowers that are for sale. They're hanging baskets, and they're $30 a piece. And also, there's a $7 delivery fee if interested in having them delivered, or you can pick them up at different locations in town. But it's an exciting adventure. If you like our poinsettias, you'll love our spring flowers.
And you folks do have the poinsettias every year.
Yep, exactly.
Yes. Now, fundraising is something that you have to do, I understand.
Yes.
You do get some funding, I understand, from the federal government and also different government agencies. But how much of your budget is really just dollars and cents raised here on a local basis, if you know?
And I would hate to misquote it, and I apologize for that. I'm not 100% sure what our fundraising is, but it's a big part of our budget. Every year we start with no guarantee of the amount of money that we're going to receive throughout the year.
So it's important for those that believe in what you're doing then to not only take part in some of these programs, but also become a regular contributor if they believe strong enough in it.
Yes.
I'd like to go and talk to you about some of the things that you deal with. The thing that I hear a lot of times from families that are having some domestic violence is that the person who is being mistreated, usually it's a female, is afraid to reach out for any type of advice or any type of counseling or help, for fear that that something's going to happen, and that's going to cause them to lose their home or their income or even their emotional and support from the male. On your organization, you run a 24-hour crisis line, I understand.
Correct. Yep.
And you have a counselor, a trained counselor, to talk to people.
Right.
If a person calls that line, do they have to give their name?
No. Nope. It can be an anonymous call.
And there's no tracking of telephone numbers or anything like that. If they call you and tell you what's happening and really bad, is something going to happen? Are you your organization takes steps at that time to make something happen?
No, actually, our crisis line can be, again, anonymous, and we provide, basically we're there just to provide support, information, and options. We are mandatory child abuse reporters, but primarily if someone calls in and is talking about a situation, there's a lot of shame that comes with being in a domestic violence relationship or sexual assault victim. And so sometimes it's not something easily discussed. And so if you can call somewhere anonymously and saying these are things that are going on for me, that advocate who answers that phone is there to provide that support, not to, oh, we need to call the police department right now, or you need to be doing these things.
File some court papers or something like that. That's not going to happen unless that person says they want it to happen.
Right, exactly.
Now, another thing that we talked about before the show is violence and sexual abuse in a dating relationship, and that starts pretty young nowadays.
Correct, unfortunately.
And can you tell us a little bit about that? What have you seen, and what's your experiences of assisting the person who's being neglected?
Unfortunately, like you said, it does happen much earlier than it has in the past. It seems to be getting younger, and basically we talk to family members, and if that person would actually call the crisis line, we talk a lot to family members. My daughter's in this relationship, or my son is in this relationship, we're concerned. We provide information about warning signs, things to think about.
Can we, and I know we're going to be running out of time here pretty soon, so can we talk about some of those warning signs? What, as parents or grandparents, what can we look for that shows that our daughter or granddaughter is in an abusive relationship?
I guess I always talk about one of the biggest signs is that controlling behavior. 'Cause domestic violence, sexual assault is always about power and control. So keeping constant track of someone, jealousy. I found out that you went over to your male friend's house and that jealousy, calling at all hours of the night, are you home? Or just monitoring that other person. Those controlling type behaviors that happen.
And I understand that forbidding the female from associating with her girlfriends or with people that she was very close to, kind of keeping them to themselves.
Isolating, yes.
And then I understand if the female starts showing some signs of appetite, loss of appetite or more appetite, sleep. Sleep behaviors, just different behaviors, reactions. Normally when something would break, her reaction would be to pick it up, and instead now she's, it's a lot more different, just totally different behaviors. And we know as a young person, the mood swings
Yeah,
isn't unusual,
exactly.
but if a person recognizes it's even more drastic.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
And if that's the case, then the parents can call you. They don't have to give their name or anything.
Right.
And if they can bring the affected person to call you, it's even better. Is
Right.
that to understand? Do you have any educational programs that you use to get out in the community? I know we talked about a couple of them, but church groups, service clubs, or
Yep.
any organizations like that that can speak on both adult situations and also with the youth?
Yes, we have great presentations available to churches, to parent associations, to any kind of organization out in the community. And if we don't have a set presentation, we can definitely create one. We also have an education coordinator that goes into all, I'm not going to say all, but a lot of the school systems in the area, in the tri-state area actually, and provide bullying types of things, because we know that people that or children that are bullies then become, as adults, abusers, and so we try to do that anti-bullying kind of activities, and we do a lot of those in the community.
And as I told you, our church used your organization as a Minute for Missions about a month or so ago. If some church wants literature that they can
Yes.
base a program on, do you have that available?
Oh yes, definitely.
And training material, or do you have material you can send out to a person who calls the line and says, look, of course they'd have to give their name there, wouldn't
Right.
they? Yeah.
Right. If interested, we can provide. We have packets that we hand out to anyone that calls and says, "I just need more information about domestic violence or sexual assault." We can send it in the mail, and if they have questions, we can provide information.
Right. What is your telephone number again?
Our telephone number is 712-258-7233, and our 1-800 number is 1-800-982-7233.
Okay, I'm almost scared to ask this because I have a hard time remembering mine, but do you have a website?
We do have a website, and it's www.safefromabuse.com.
Great. And people are welcome to contact you at any time. And again, you
Okay.
need volunteers,
Always.
and of course you can use the financial support also.
Yes, definitely. We appreciate it.
We'd like to thank you for tuning in today. This program was produced by Siouxland Community Media, a nonprofit organization here in Siouxland, and also sponsored by Morningside College. Thank you.